Question number 88. It's the last critical reasoning question in this paper. It says, which of the following is assumed by the argument given above? Now, in an assumption question, we have to find out the fact and the conclusion in the paragraph, and the gap in the gap between the fact and the conclusion is called the assumption. So an assumption is basically a fact which is implicit or given indirectly in the passage. It is hinted, but the author hasn't mentioned it, and it is central to the conclusion. Here we talk about a number of startups, like over 300 were founded over the course of last 6 years. That's given as a fact in Bangalore, and this has been taken as an indicator of the software companies or an e-technology boom which has happened in Bangalore. So we need an assumption which will provide the logical gap, like how the number of startups that reflect the word boom, or they define the word boom. So the right answer here would be B. There were fewer than 300 internet startups that had been active 11 years ago and which stopped their operations during the last 10 years. So this will clearly define the word boom, and this 300 would be a sufficient number to show that there is some kind of an explosion of software companies or e-technology boom in Bangalore. Option C is definitely irrelevant because it talks about fashion, pharmaceutical, or semiconductors industry, so they talk about some other industry. And a good way of checking an assumption question is by negating the assumption. If it affects the conclusion, then it is the right assumption. So if we negate option A or option C or option D, they will not really affect the conclusion that there has been an explosion of software companies. But if we negate B, it will clearly weaken the argument. Hence, B is the assumption that is taken by the author in the argument given above.